What if I told you the secret to a huge breakthrough isn't in a spreadsheet, but in a sandbox? Today, we're going to dig into a really powerful idea that play isn't just for kids. Nope, it's a serious, heavy-duty tool for creativity. So let's jump right in.
Okay, let's just be real for a second. You've got a deadline breathing down your neck. The idea of playtime probably sounds, well, ridiculous. A total luxury you can't afford, right? You might even think it's just a waste of time. But what if that assumption is completely wrong? What if it's the one thing that could unlock your next big idea?
And look, if you feel that way, it's not your fault. It's kind of by design. Our entire professional lives, we're trained to think of work and play as total opposites. So in our first section, let's just challenge that idea head on. This is, play is not a game.
I mean, think about it. From your very first job, you're conditioned. The professional world demands structure, seriousness, predictable results. You follow the rules, you hit your targets, you stick to the plan. It's a world built on constraints, and it's all designed for efficiency. But breakthroughs? Not so much.
So what this does is it creates two totally different ways of thinking. On one side, you've got the world of adult constraints. Everything's linear, it's judgmental, and it's all about finding known solutions. But on the other side, you've got playful freedom. That's spontaneous, it's fueled by curiosity, and it's wide open to discovering brand new possibilities. These two things feel like they can't exist in the same room, you know?
But what if they can? And that right there is the heart of our entire explainer video. We're going to reframe play as a strategy for genius. We're going to see how that playful freedom can actually become your most powerful professional tool.
Now hang on, we're not talking about just, throwing a foosball table in the office and calling it a day. The key here isn't chaos, not at all. It's about creating a very specific kind of environment, a deliberate space for a totally different kind of thinking to happen.
And the source material has this brilliant name for it, structured, unstructured play. Yeah, it sounds like a complete paradox, right? But it's all about intentionally making a space for that spontaneous, uninhibited thinking. So picture this. A design team is stuck on a really tough problem. The structure is the goal. Solve the problem, and you have 1 hour. The unstructured part is how they do it. For that hour, there are no bad ideas. You can build prototypes with cardboard, draw goofy comics, anything goes. You're basically designing a process to be free from those normal adult constraints, all to crack a really complex problem.
So here's the simplest way to think about it. It's freedom within a framework. You set the boundaries, the time, the space, the goal. But inside that little container, your mind is totally free to wander, to connect wild ideas, and to be genuinely spontaneous.
Okay, so how does this actually work? Like, what is physically happening in our brains that makes this so effective? Let's get into the mechanics behind the magic in our next section, How Play Rewires Thinking.
It really boils down to 3 steps. First, you have to consciously shed constraints. That's that little voice in your head that's always worried about looking silly or being wrong. You got to tell it to take a hike. Next, you embrace spontaneity, just letting ideas bubble up without immediately shooting them down. And when you do those 2 things, you get to the magic part. You unlock lateral thinking. That's basically your brain's superpower for mashing together unrelated concepts to create something totally new.
And what's really cool is this creates a powerful feedback loop. Play sparks that lateral thinking, right? Which then allows for these huge imaginative leaps that rigid, step-by-step thinking just can't make. This is the stuff that real breakthrough innovation is made of. It gives us the mental toolkit we need to solve our most wicked problems.
So this brings us to the big so what? How do we actually put this into practice? Let's dive into our final section, Build Like a Child, and talk about re-engaging that inner architect we all have.
And it is so important to get this distinction right. This isn't about being childish. It is about being childlike. It's about reclaiming a powerful way of thinking that every single one of us had, before it was kind of trained out of us in the name of being a professional.
The source material just nails it with this quote. Rediscovering play isn't childish. It's a strategic re-engagement with genius. Did you catch that word? Strategic. This isn't about being silly for no reason. It's a deliberate, calculated choice to access a more innovative and, let's be honest, a much more powerful part of your mind.
So as we wrap this up, the big takeaway is this. Play isn't the opposite of serious work. It's the engine for it, which really leaves just one question for you. What will you build when you start playing again?